The journey of how Carla Connor and Lisa Swain, affectionately dubbed Swarla by fans, evolved into a global cultural phenomenon is both unexpected and remarkable. For well over a year, devoted viewers across cities such as New York City, Mexico City, and Gothenburg have been setting alarms at unusual hours of the night, waking up in the dark to watch brief scenes, sometimes lasting only 3 or 4 minutes, featuring the two characters on Coronation Street. Despite their short screen time, these moments have sparked intense online discussions, inspired a continuous flow of fan fiction, and even introduced younger audiences to a British soap opera that has been running for more than 6 decades. As an example of this dedication, even viewers in places like Upper Manhattan have found themselves making late-night coffee while trying to keep up with the show, sometimes needing tools like a Mancunian dictionary just to understand local slang, where even something as simple as tea can mean either a hot drink or an evening meal. What truly sets this phenomenon apart is not just the passion of the fan base, but its global reach. Unlike traditional soap audiences that are typically confined to domestic viewers, this fandom extends far beyond the UK and has taken on an international identity. Interestingly, this widespread popularity did not grow through conventional television broadcasting. Instead, it began gaining traction in late 2024 through fan-created video edits and compilation clips that circulated on platforms like X, Twitter, Tumblr, TikTok, and Instagram. Initially spreading slowly, the content eventually exploded in popularity as social media algorithms amplified their reach. By April 2026, some Swarla video clips had accumulated over 1 million views on YouTube, alongside hundreds of millions of views across TikTok. Additionally, more than 2,000 fan-written stories have appeared on Archive of Our Own, AO3, a platform whose audience largely falls within the 18 to 34 age range, according to a 2024 study conducted by the University of Central Florida. Traditionally, soap operas have been localized, routine-driven forms of entertainment, programs that audiences grow into over time rather than actively seek out. Their storytelling pace tends to be slower and more gradual, which contrasts sharply with the polished, fast-paced style of modern streaming content that many younger viewers are accustomed to. However, the enthusiasm surrounding Carla and Lisa, collectively known as Swarla, has transformed that model into something far more dynamic and engaged. The fandom is not passive. Instead, it is highly interactive, creative, and deeply invested in the character's journey. Both fans and media analysts suggest that Coronation Street may have unintentionally tapped into an audience segment that typically gravitates toward high-budget mainstream television, thereby cultivating a following that is unusually active and vocal for a traditional soap. The rapid growth of the Swarla fandom appears to be the result of several cultural factors coming together at once. These include a television landscape often dominated by stories centered on wealth and exclusivity, shorter TV seasons that leave little space for gradual character development, and, perhaps most significantly, a genuinely authentic romantic storyline between two middle-aged women. Importantly, this relationship is not defined solely by its representation of queerness, but rather presented as a central narrative in its own right, allowing it to resonate more deeply with audiences across different backgrounds. Christine Gerardi, a professor of television studies at the University of Glasgow, explained that one of the defining features of soap operas is their ability to make audiences wait for developments to unfold. Rather than following the fast-paced, binge-friendly format of modern streaming series, soaps progress at a slower and more deliberate rhythm, allowing relationships and storylines to evolve gradually through small, often subtle moments that may initially seem insignificant but gain importance over time. This storytelling approach is typically set against a backdrop of everyday life that feels relatable to a broad audience. Instead of focusing on high-stakes corporate power struggles like those seen in Succession or the extravagant luxury showcased in The White Lotus, soaps tend to center on ordinary experiences, such as casual conversations while waiting in line for Roy's bacon sandwiches or everyday chats over a drink about financial pressures and getting by. As Sophie Gilbert pointed out in her essay, Money is Ruining Television, published in The Atlantic, the overwhelming focus on extreme wealth in contemporary television has started to feel repetitive and unengaging for many viewers. In contrast, soap operas, particularly Coronation Street, present a more grounded and recognizable world, something that has gradually diminished on American television since the mid-2000s. For fans of Swarla who may not be familiar with British soaps, this realism helps place Carla Connor and Lisa Swain in situations that feel believable and attainable, from their careers to their personal challenges. Christine Jodie also referenced earlier research from the 1970s, noting that viewers, such as mothers and daughters, would regularly call each other to discuss ongoing soap storylines. She explained that audiences have always enjoyed analyzing plot developments, sharing theories, and even voicing frustrations about their favorite programs. Today, that sense of anticipation has been amplified through online communities, where discussions happen instantly and on a much larger scale. As a result, even the briefest scenes can take on significant meaning when shared and dissected across social media platforms. In the case of Carla and Lisa, even a simple glance or a fleeting touch can carry emotional weight far beyond its actual screen time. These moments are often replayed repeatedly as GIFs, creating a deeper layer of meaning and interpretation. This subtle, understated form of storytelling generates a powerful emotional pull, particularly for queer audiences, who have historically seen intimacy portrayed more through restraint and nuance, rather than overt or highly dramatized displays. Rebecca Collins, a 22-year-old viewer who has been watching Coronation Street alongside her mother since early childhood, explained that the growth of the online fandom, sparked in part by the viral "Don't Get Dressed" scene in November 2024, created a new and meaningful space for discussion that she hadn't previously experienced in her everyday life. According to Rebecca, this digital community allowed fans to engage more deeply with the show, revisiting major past storylines such as the tram crash and psychosis experienced by Carla Connor, while also introducing newer audiences to these earlier plotlines as they discovered the series. When the relationship between Carla and Lisa Swain first began to develop, it initially surprised and even confused some viewers. Carla, a fiery and complex character who has been part of the show for more than 2 decades and has had multiple marriages to men, suddenly found herself forming a connection with Lisa, a character often portrayed as composed and restrained, yet occasionally overly forceful in her role as a police officer. Fans note that this kind of moral ambiguity, where characters are neither entirely good nor entirely bad, is a defining feature of soap operas and a key reason why audiences find them so compelling. Reactions online were mixed when Carla first admitted her feelings, ranging from curiosity and excitement to doubt and criticism. In many comment sections, a recurring question emerged: how could a long-established character like Carla suddenly change her sexual identity?